Mm-hmm. No, neither one of them. We only have three. Yes. So, Matt, you want to give your report? Because we don't have a quorum, we can't really go through any of our voting items, but you can still give your report.
Okay. Best come up here?
Yes.
Okay. Is it okay to take my mask off?
Sure.
Deal. Well, I sure appreciate the chance to be here today and have a chance to report on a few things, a few UCA athletic events that were granted funding from the A&P Commission. We've got a list of them, and I'll go through them and kind of talk about those. First off, had a couple softball tournaments that were granted funding. Some details from those tournaments. First, the Michelle Short Memorial Classic had 5 teams participate that were staying 1 to 2 nights in Conway. Estimated total attendance for that weekend was 750 at the tournament. It was a little cool at that tournament, but anyway, it was good, still well attended. And that number includes parents and fans that were staying overnight and dining in Conway as well. That was the Michelle Short Memorial Classic. The following weekend, we had a second tournament, the Adam Brown Memorial Classic. Again, 5 teams participating in that, staying 2 to 3 nights in Conway. And total attendance for that tournament was 1,000. And that number also includes parents and fans that were staying overnight in Conway and dining here in Conway. Another event that was granted some funding was UCA Richard Martin Invitational Track Meet, formerly known as the UCA Open. Coach Martin's got his name on several things out there at UCA now. So, and it's funny, in my notes here, I have it listed at the Bill Stevens Track Complex. However, that's now the Richard Martin Jr. Track Complex. So, let me go ahead and correct that. So, we had 10 total teams participating in that. Estimated attendance there was about 500, and that was folks staying in and dining in Conway as well for the Richard Martin Invitational Junior Track Meet. Beach Bear Classic was our beach volleyball tournament, which is a newer sport for us, really a very popular sport. So the A&P Commission granted some funding for the Beach Bear Classic. We had 5 total teams participating in that as well, staying 1 to 2 nights in Conway. Attendance was 750 for that, so it's really a growing sport and kind of a very well attended sport as well. So big crowd out. That includes fans, parents that were staying overnight, not only just the teams, but staying overnight and dining in Conway. We hosted several tournaments and camps that were also supported by the A&P Commission, and kind of run through those just for starting with baseball. We hosted 10 different tournaments at our ball field and 6 camps. That estimated number of participants between the tournaments and camps is 4,500. And many of these were staying multiple nights in Conway and dining in our restaurants. So quite a few folks out for that. A few other men's soccer camps. We had 2 that we hosted. Drew a total of 98 participants. Some overnight campers. One of those camps was actually an overnight, so campers staying on our campus, and then also parents and families here staying in Conway in hotels and dining in restaurants. 2 soccer camps drew a total of 109 participants, similar setup to men's. Some overnight campers stayed on campus, and then also parents and families staying in Conway and dining in the restaurants. We hosted 7 football camps that drew a total of 550 total participants. Again, campers and parents and families staying in and dining in Conway. Volleyball camps hosted 3 volleyball camps that drew a total of 200 participants. Similar to soccer, this was a couple of those camps were overnight, campers on campus, and then parents and families again staying and dining. Softball camps hosted 5 softball camps, drew a total of 200 participants with parents, families staying and dining here in Conway as well. And finally, the last event that I wanted to report on today was the Sugar Bear Invitational that was supported by the A&P Commission. We had a total of 4 teams participating in that. Overnight stays, 1 to 2 night in Conway, depending on how the schedule laid out for them and their games. And then had a total attendance of 1,000 over that 3-day event. So very well attended. One of the matches, us in Little Rock, was extremely well attended and just a great match. But that also includes parents and families staying and dining in Conway. So very appreciative of the A&P Commission for supporting these events, and wanted to share that report today. And if I can answer any questions about those, I'd be happy to. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Financials?
Sure. Button dot to push?
Huh?
Push
No,
button.
you're on mine.
No. Okay. There you go. All right. If you look at the paper clips packet, the balance sheet at the top just shows the balance in our accounts. Page 2, well, I'll really go to page 3. Total revenues for the month were $443,058.51, with a bottom line in the black of $24,258.81. And year to date, we're at $538,440.97 to the black, whereas last year we were $284,523.63 in the red. That was due to the $500,000 special project. Any questions? Moving to the long pieces of paper, if you go to page 3. Our total collections for the month were $440,950.21, which is up over October of 2020 by 19.98% and up over October of 2019 by 18.74%. The fourth page is delinquents. October 2021, we had 16,279.03 in delinquent food taxes collected, which consists of 3.69% of total collections. And then fifth page is collections excluding delinquent, which is a total of $424,671.18, which is 19.96% up over October 2020. And then the last page is pay simple collections, which totaled $125,794.34, which is 28.53% of collections. And following that, you will see the delinquent list. Oh, if you go back to well, it's not showing up on here, but we did have a return payment, well, which is on the front page of the long pieces of paper, but of $934.32, and that was Hatchet House Barbecue for the month of August. I've contacted their accountant, who contacted them, although the situation has not been remedied as of yet. And we still have you'll see in red on the spreadsheet for delinquents, there's Hatchet House Barbecue. Still the bounce check from April for Tequila La Paloma. And then the bounce check for Your Pie Pizza for June of 2021. Which they have turned around and got their beverage up to date. However, they did not make a payment on A&P or anything to remedy the situation. And there has been hot check charges filed against them for that. Yes. Your Pie. I don't know. Right. They did have sales for August, and they paid August. When, yes, I thought they were closed then too, but. That's the only reason why I put them on there for any amount was because they had sales for August, which I wouldn't think they would have had sales for August.
And is Wonder House shut down? Are they still operating?
I believe so. I believe they are shut down.
They're gonna close, at least a month, and they don't.
Okay.
Probably 2 months.
Charles, last meeting we were talking about which should we do as far as your pie, and you said that they were supposed to go to court. Did they ever show? Okay.
And they have warrants now for the bounce payment. Additionally.
Okay.
Right.
I'm sorry, what did you say about that?
Their August payment bounced. Their check bounced.
Where is that located? Is that off France?
No, it's right there.
It's Fat Daddy's.
Where?
Oh, I guess, yeah.
The axe throwing.
No.
Yes, the August payment was returned, and I have contacted their accountant, who contacted them, which they were supposed to remedy the situation, but did not. They paid September instead. I mean, clearly we need to do I know we can't vote today, but file the hot check charge on Tequila La Paloma, and I guess even on Hatchet House, since they've been given plenty of time to remedy the situation. Get some attention somewhere.
There's probably some unknowns there, but they ought to know enough now to know that.
Right. And they have a very good accountant, so I know that they're well taken care of.
Question, since we can't vote, whose hands do I put this in to make a decision? Just gotta wait till next month?
Have to wait till next
That's
month.
what I was thinking. I mean, any questions, any further questions about the list?
No.
No, because I can't make a move on it now.
Right, so, thank you for your report.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
Now it's got a month past.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on.
But I think I could still, Charles could do without vote? Yes, they bounced. Okay. Do it.
I guess we're going with Rachel. Going through this quick. Rachel?
Hi. So you should all have, just step away a little bit. Should all have your funding packets and spreadsheets now for 2022 funding applications. I have collected all those, read them, organized them, put them all together in your little spreadsheet to review, and then we will vote on those next month at the December meeting. So hopefully we have enough people here to do that. So over the past month, I've done that. I've been meeting with Salespeople to finalize 2022 marketing plan and ad buys. The All-Star Games have contacted us. They are interested in coming back for a June 2022 event. We have one more year left of our 5-year contract that we signed with them. So 2022 would be the final year that you are under contract to pay $45,000 for that event. My advice would be we honor that for this year and then renegotiate for the future. I assume they will want to come back here. They've always been very happy with you know, the facilities that UCA provides, Conway and our location, and amenities that their coaches have while they're here. So I don't know why they would not want to come back here, but I don't know that you all want to be obligated to pay $45,000 for that event anymore. So just something for you all to think about. We're not quite there yet, but they do plan to come back in 2022. And I met with our organizing committee earlier, well, mid last month, to talk about that. We are at the end of our NIL training program that we've been partnering with the conductor on. Next Tuesday, all of the NIL students are invited to a pitch night where they will be able to pitch themselves to other businesses in case they would like to hire them. You're all invited to do that. I will send you email information. That'll be at the Brick Room.
And take a look. Should have been tagged or invited for those of you who are on social media. But that event, we've already got some testimonials out from several of the student athletes.
Yeah. So before we chose these students, we sent out a survey to all of the student athletes at UCA and had them fill out this long survey asking questions about their initial impression of Conway, you know, when they decided to move here, or how that opinion changed once they became a student here and moved here. And it's funny, a lot of them came from big cities and thought, oh, Conway is going to be this small town with nothing to do. Other kids moved here from tiny towns, whether it be in Arkansas or another state, and moved here thinking Conway was going to be so big and they were going to be overwhelmed, and they were really nervous about it for that reason. And based on those surveys, all of the students had their opinion changed. The ones from big cities thought, oh, Conway has a lot more to do than I originally anticipated. And the ones from the small towns thought, Conway's great. It doesn't even feel that big. It's easy to get around. People are so nice. So we got some good anecdotal information from them that we're now able to use in promotion for Conway. I mean, that's the whole reason that we're doing this with these students, is for their point of view. So we'll get to hear more of that next Tuesday at their pitch night that the conductor is helping to put together.
When is pitch night?
Next Tuesday, the 16th. I'm not sure on the time.
Respond to your invite. I think it's either 6 or 6:30. It's at the Brick Room. And the content that's on there right now is a good taste of kind of what the types of things that they're going to be saying, and all of the kind of marketing progression as we move forward.
This month also had our quarterly Heart of Arkansas board meeting. I'm sure I've told you all before that I serve on that board as a representative of Conway. That is a state tourism sanctioned board. They have tourism regions designated throughout the state. We are part of Arkansas, which is the Central Arkansas group, us, Little Rock, North Little Rock, Cabot, Benton Bryant, kind of that area. And we advertise, use state grants to advertise our region. We're working on updating our brochure right now that is handed out through state tourism. Had a follow-up teams recap meeting with the organizers of that event, which is a publishing company, and our state tourism associates, just to talk about what we liked about the event this year, what we would like to change as far as an exhibitor standpoint, how we can get better leads from it. Been meeting with Meltwater, which is our media monitoring company that we pay, and discussing influencer partnerships and how we can measure their metrics and decide who is a good influencer for us. There are a lot of people in Arkansas that do that type of business, and we haven't tapped into that very much yet, but there's a lot of opportunity to do that and get, you know, promotion across channels, social media channels that are harder for us to reach, a whole new group of people that we could partner with through this. Tomorrow, I am doing an interview for a magazine specifically about our NIL program. Shelby with CDI actually reached out to me, and they do a monthly interview. And this year they wanted to, or this month they wanted to focus that on our NIL program. So that's just some free earned media that we're getting. I have started our 2022 planning with our social media company, and I have a handout for each of you.
That event's at 5:30. It starts at 5:30 on the 16th.
Thank you.
So this shows you how our social media channels have grown over the past year. Talks about some of the special events that we did, which I reported to all of you on, about the Black Restaurant Week, Asian Food Week, Conway Restaurant Month, and Latino Restaurant Week. And as you'll see in the handout, this was the first year that we had done any of those kind of social media promotions. And going forward, we plan to really expand on the groundwork that we set this year, you know, having people make special offers, doing more restaurant owner testimonials, potentially putting together a sort of Conway Restaurant Month passport that when you attend or dine in a restaurant and participate in that promotion, you could be entered to win a drawing at the end of the month. We don't have all of that specifically nailed down because that's a long time away, but those are just some of the ideas for next year that we've talked about. Look, I think you were all made aware as we were coming in that we are no longer allowed to do virtual attendance, so that probably would have helped us today some, but in the future it'll just be more important to attend in person so that we can have quorum. Let's see if I missed anything else. Oh, I've been talking to a man that owns a bowling event about potential of hosting an event here, and it would be a kind of a pre-qualifier to send kids to a national competition in Michigan. So, any questions?
I've got a couple. It looks, looking at the next month's meeting on the funding request, it looks like my observation is that the list is pretty small compared to normal. Is that correct?
It did feel smaller. And there were some that were obviously missing that I don't know if they're not having the events anymore or if their organizations have kind of dissolved to some extent. I know Red Curtain didn't apply. Shakespeare Theater, as we know, isn't really around right now.
That was my follow-up. Are there any major ones that are missing off that list?
Those specifically. There are a couple that we typically fund through event incentive that I think will apply, but they haven't yet, and there's money there available for those events. Like I know that the Senior Olympics will do more events here in 2022. I think he just doesn't have specific dates yet, so he held off on applying yet. Anyway, yes, it is smaller. There have been years where we gave out $150,000 and you know, preliminary figures look like less than 100,000 right now. So
Okay. On the social, are we affiliated any with the Ask Conway group?
no. The
Do we need
hashtag
to be, or?
Conway to go group is ours. The hashtag bike Conway group is ours. And then obviously the CDB Facebook page and Conway Arkansas Instagram are ours, but the other ones we do not. And you know, the Conway to go group, people post in there, well, we have it set to where post approval is turned on. So I have to go in, I get notifications multiple times a day to go in and somebody wants to promote something, and sometimes it's a legitimate post, but a lot of times it is something spam that I have to decline. So, but any of the groups where people are not being positive, they are not ours. Our group is positive recommendations only.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rachel.
We need to call his name. I can hear him.
Obviously, Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up, so things are going to slow down a little bit. Last weekend, speaking of Senior Olympics, we had the 3-on-3 basketball. This coming weekend, there's a Girl Scout event out at the Expo. The following weekend at the Expo will be another Senior Olympic event for pickleball. And then Christmas tree lighting.
Yes.
Saturday after Thanksgiving. And then the second weekend of December is another gun show. So just in time to meet those Christmas needs.
There you go, that's right.
Still doing the Ferris wheel and all the fun stuff then?
I believe so.
That was the plan.
Yeah,
That's all I have.
great.
We will do some paid promotion for that event as well, trying to drive people downtown.
Hey Steve, do we have anything under construction right now at the ball fields for the turf? Do we have any more plans? Are we caught up with everything?
The girls' park's finished. I gave some numbers for the boys' park for those fields. It's kind of just waiting to see what y'all wanted to do.
Okay.
Thank
When
you.
do you need an answer by that?
Right now, it's too late to get it done for spring. So we would actually need to hit it as soon as fall's over with, fall season's over with. We would need to get in and do those.
Still a pretty strong case to make that upgrade.
Yes. I mean, it just kind of takes care of rainouts.
I agree with it.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that.
thank y'all.
Thank you.
Gentlemen right here, y'all want to speak?
My dad doesn't really know because we got a time battle with code enforcement, citation,
Okay.
we're not sure who's right. Possible.
What restaurant?
No, it's not a restaurant, it's
Oh,
sidewalk, they try to modify it, the city concept. Right across the street, Big Red Cabooses. Right across the road, Big Red. Sorry about that.
no, you're totally fine.
Good luck.
Thank you.
New business.
Since we can't really vote on that, I will move it to our December agenda.
Real quick, this will be emailed to everybody that's wasn't here. Okay, good. They would like to review it before we vote on everything, so. Old business, anything else? Well, I don't need a motion to adjourn, so thank y'all for attending, and we'll see you December 13th. Please be here.
Well.